their miserly ticket allocation. Ask Liverpool, who encountered the passion Palace have traditionally aroused amongst their followers during that memorable FA Cup semi-final. Palace is a club that in its last stay in the First Division averaged crowds of 30,000 plus. Still, the reaction to today's Wembley visit inside the Selhurst Park club shop has surpassed all expectations.
Everything's up by 50%, and it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. We're overwhelmed with everything.
The staff been run off their feet.
Oh, they all want to give their notice in. They work so hard, but they've been marvellous for them. Really
but they
good.
Enjoy it.
Yes, they do. They're Palace through and through, and it's a thrill for them all.
And supporting Palace takes other forms too. Palace won't be without ecclesiastical support at Wembley. The Red Devils are being exorcised. The Reverend Nigel Sands, ironically once a curate in Liverpool, now doubles as a Berkshire vicar and Crystal Palace historian. His flock know his tendencies.
And so tomorrow, when you're watching the cup final, and you see Palace's Phil Barber racing down that wing with every nerve and sinew stretched to reach the ball, or you see Mark Bright going up for a header against the United defence, or you see our England B international goalkeeper stretching as far as he can to just fingertip the save round the post. That's the sort of thing that St Paul is talking about. Giving everything you've got in order to score the goal at football, but also to make sure that we reach the goal in our Christian lives. Because what a pity it would be if we missed it.
Meanwhile, who said Palace's support wasn't far-flung?
Well, I think when I first came down here, what really impressed me about the club was the supporters and the kind of support they have here. The fact that it's a good mix. There's a lot of women come down to watch football here. A lot of children come down. And there's a very good family, friendly spirit at Palace.
And they seem to be passionate. I mean, the hard core of supporters are really passionate.
Sure. I mean, if you saw us up at Villa Park, you would have seen just how passionate they can be with the red and blue balloons and the singing. Even during that notorious 9-0 defeat up at Anfield, the fans didn't stop singing. I don't think our fans can be beaten by any other club in the land. I sometimes think the media don't give us the respect I think we are due. We are often likened to smaller clubs, where in fact I do honestly believe that we will be a football dynasty in London in the very near future.
And then there's the Manchester-based supporters club.
Well, Palace is a friendly club, and us Manchester City fans are known as being brilliant sportsmen, and we've got a nice affinity with Crystal Palace, and I hope they win the cup, purely because I like Crystal Palace as a club, and if they could manage to win by 5 or 6 clear goals, I will cheer every one of those goals. Purely from a sporting point of view, you understand.
Crystal Palace may not be the worldwide multi-million-pound business that Manchester United is. It's still a club that this season could afford Britain's most expensive goalkeeper. Over the past decade, Palace have unashamedly seen making money off the pitch as a prerequisite of success on it. The 1980s began with a supermarket being built on land previously owned by the football club. The 1990s started with the chairman's office located over Selhurst Park's own fish restaurant. In between times, a debt of almost £2 million has been turned round.
You have to be viable, you have to be breaking even. If you're not breaking even, and so therefore you're losing money, all you do all the time is sell your best players to the bigger clubs, and you never build anything. So the first objective of any football club with any ambition is to break even. The second objective is then to create some surplus to invest in the quality of its team. And after that, your results should improve if you've got good management. So you can't do anything without the commercial side at all. You cannot rely on Gates. I mean, the supporter that tells you that he comes every week and therefore pays the wages of the players, he's in a dream world. He really doesn't understand. I think our Gates was something like 1/3 of our income. The last time I looked, about a year ago. That's the extent of it. We've had to do the off-pitch activities just to get the club to grow and to be able to compete.
And behind the scenes on match days, Selhurst Park houses 7 separate hospitality lounges. Profits from catering now top £100,000 a year. There are 27 executive boxes as well, and more on the way. Outside, there's further evidence of a mightily ambitious football club. This summer we'll see new dressing rooms, a new main entrance, and still more entertainment facilities.
We made a profit every year since '82. It's usually about 250, but it's now creeping up slowly to 400. Before we reached the cup final, I would have said this year we would do about 800,000 trading profit, and a normal first division year we'd probably do £1 million trading profit. On the other hand, we will invest, certainly in the immediate term, more than that in